I think that for me, I had very immediate chemistry with the people in Limp Bizkit, whether I liked the music or like. I definitely liked several aspects of the music in Limp Bizkit, and I definitely liked a lot of the things we did, but there was a lot that I didn't like. But I think that the main thing is that I had a connection and a chemistry and electricity with those players. And I think after I left that band, I kind of was under the impression that gaining that chemistry among a group of musicians is a lot easier than it is. And it's not, and it's taken me this long to find people to work with again that have like a definite chemistry and have a musical intention that's the same, because I worked with a lot of different people that had way different ideas, than I had, and it's really hard to find people that have like that happening. And there's so many bands that's why you see, like, I think people always are trying to assemble a band, like at like managers or major labels or stuff like that, or trying to put bands together and take this singer out of this band, because you get these, and when bands start in Acme small town or whatever like that, there's usually like a bunch of bands in the town, and there's not enough good players to go around for everybody. So you have bands starting with like a couple of guys who are really visionary and really good at what they do, with a couple of guys who are kind of like, that don't really count for much. And that's sort of what happens, because that's what happens. And I think that to get a band where every single part of it is like on fire is very uncommon. So
I do this because I guess I had a choice, but I like to say I didn't, because I was kind of born into it. I started to play percussion and drums when I learned to walk. I got my first kit when I was 4. So for me, it's something that I've always done. I've always known it was what I was put here on earth to do, was create and use my imagination. And being musically involved, like my father was a musician, so from the day that I was conceived, I was brought into a musical and artistic realm, and I've just always been surrounded by that, and I've always been intrigued by people who think outside of, your normal social constraints. And I think that whenever you're trying to do something that's different than everybody else, certainly when you're trying to make a living or a career out of making music, there's all these elements that people, they want to either make money or they, want whatever peripherals come along with it. But for me, it's like I don't care to ever be rich. I don't care to ever, I just want to make music, make art, and, hopefully make a living doing it to where I'm comfortable. That's me.
For me, all I can do is make music and paint and build shit. So that's like all I've ever wanted to do, and that's all I really can do. I don't have any desire to ever have a desk job or do anything that involves, I don't know. I just, all I ever have wanted to do is, and been able to do, is just create, and I'll do it no matter what, whether I'm making a living at it or not. It's just something that'll happen, and I've been super lucky to be able to actually be successful and be in a band and be one of the like 1% of 1% of people who've actually been able to make a living doing what they love and doing music. And if I can continue to be able to do this, then then life is awesome and unreal. I only do what I do because it's all I can do, and it's all I ever want to do, and it's what I think about and obsess about and eat.
Regardless of whether or not I was making a living at it or not, this is all it's all I know, and it's all I'd ever do. So
there you have it.
Jugular, cut the vein and kiss it away.